Namo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls me back to my true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, family, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Our Dharma lessons now are from Ajahn Thiradhammo's book called Working with the Five Hindrances. This morning we're finishing the introduction with a section called Everyday Hindrances. Once we have some knowledge about the hindrances and have established some degree of collectedness and mindfulness, it's important to try to be more aware of them as they are happening. Maybe we aren't bothered much by them when we sit in the more controlled environment of meditation, especially if we are good at the technique of keeping the attention on the meditation object. But it can be helpful to take this theme into your everyday life and see what the hindrance of the week is. Here's a little bit of homework. See if you can observe what particular hindrances arise in the course of the day and trip you up. This can become a highly relevant source of investigation or study. These things not only cause a lack of awakening, but also obstruct a peaceful, happy life. So the sooner we can learn to free ourselves from the disturbing influence, the more smoothly our life will flow, and the more quickly awakening will happen. A meditation teacher in Switzerland often led a very popular form of retreat in various cities. It began with a weekend session and continued as an everyday life retreat, with people going to work during the day and gathering for a session in the evenings. Often it was based upon a particular theme, such as right speech or continuity of mindfulness throughout the day. Many people found this form of retreat very helpful, and some of them had some very important insights. Although most people had already done a number of formal retreats, this was something quite different, bringing more collectedness and clarity to their everyday life situation. Everyday life is where we usually have to deal with things as they really happen, and that's where we spend most of our time. You can only be on retreat for so many days in the year. The other 350 or so days, you're back in ordinary life. So, to bring some more collectedness and clarity to the ordinary areas of our life is much more useful in the long term. So hopefully, you can do your homework and try to recognize these hindrances in the course of everyday life. This will have practical relevance rather than just being an exercise in intellectual inquiry. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.